Hi, and welcome to Everything Explained. Today we're tackling a big question. Why do some countries become democracies and others don't? Democracy isn't a single rulebook. It's a system of competing voices, constrained power, and regular accountability. In simple terms, it's about citizens having a say in how they're governed, and leaders being answerable to the people. But the path to democracy isn't the same everywhere. Some countries move gradually through reforms, others flip with a crisis, and some stay autocracies for decades. We'll unpack the main ingredients, look at real-world examples, and tease apart what tends to help or hinder the transition. By the end, you'll see that democracy is less a miracle than a long, collaborative project that happens piece by piece. What does democracy really mean? At its core, it is a system that makes power contestable under rules everyone can trust. Free and fair elections, the rule of law, and protections for basic rights. It's not just voting every few years, it's ongoing processes. A free press, independent courts, civil society, and peaceful transfers of power. There are many flavors: procedural democracy, liberal democracy, participatory democracy, but the core idea is similar. Power is subject to limits and accountability is possible. Now, what tends to help a country move toward democracy? There are a few big ingredients that often show up together. First, strong institutions. Clear rules and independent bodies, courts, election commissions, auditors, help politicians govern without bending the system. Second, development with guardrails. Rising prosperity can reduce fears of chaos and expand the middle class that demands representation, but wealth alone doesn't guarantee democracy. Oil-rich regimes can stay autocratic even when the purse is full. Third, a robust civil society and an active middle class. When people form associations, demand transparency, and hold leaders to account, cronyism loses its grip. Fourth, inclusive rules. Institutions that protect minorities and newcomers make politics feel fair and keep people involved rather than turning to violence. Crisis and external influences can tilt the odds. A political crisis, an economic shock, or a popular protest can push a country to reform, sometimes gradually, sometimes abruptly. Outside pressure, aid conditions, and the neighboring countries' paths can nudge governments toward openness or toward tightening control. History also leaves fingerprints. Colonization that built extractive institutions can leave a stubborn legacy that slows democratic progress. Let's look at a few real-world threads. In Western Europe after World War II, democracies were rebuilt with strong institutions, welfare, and shared norms. In East Asia, South Korea and Taiwan built strong schools, modern economies, and disciplined bureaucracies, then widened political participation in waves of reform. In Latin America, debt crises in the 1980s opened space for free elections and new parties. In Africa, transitions in countries like Ghana and South Africa show that leadership change, pension reforms, and civil society pressure can create durable beginnings, though it takes time and guardrails to consolidate. In the Middle East, the picture is more mixed, where economics, security concerns, and regional dynamics have slowed deep democratic change, even as people debate reform and accountability. So why don't some places become democracies? Because power can be reinforced by security forces, money, and control of information. Repression, corruption, and elite arrangements can stall reform. In some cases, oil or other rents reduce the incentive to share power. In others, ethnic tensions or weak civil society leave people feeling unprotected by the state. And when institutions are weak, elections can become rituals. Leaders exploit rather than genuine chances for change. What helps sustain democracies once they take root? First, durable rules that protect minority rights and allow peaceful transfers of power. Second, independent courts and a free press that can challenge abuse. Third, an educated, engaged citizenry that participates and keeps leaders honest. Fourth, governance that fits people's lives. Local participation and responsive public services help reduce grievances that feed extremism. Fifth, a shared sense of national purpose beyond party loyalty, people seeing the system works for everyone, not just the winners. Democracy isn't a destiny handed down from history. It's built, tested, and refined over time. It's a constant balance between freedom and order, between trustworthy rules and citizens who hold leaders to account. There's no single path, but there are recognizable patterns. Invest in institutions, expand participation, and ensure the system works for ordinary people. If there's one takeaway, it's this: democracy grows where people invest in it, together, one election, one reform, and one act of accountability at a time. So if you're wondering whether change is possible, look for the places where people are gathering, sharing ideas, and trying to push small but real shifts toward fairness. Democracy is a long road, but every citizen who voices, votes, and holds power to account helps pave it.